can edit it.
Alright, so today I'm going to do my video on my essay. I'm going to be covering exposure to endocrine disruptor bisphenol A during pregnancy and the birth defects associated with it. And my name is Jimmy Gusley. Alright, so bisphenol A, what is it? It's also known as BPA. That's just the acronym for it. It is actually a widespread endocrine disruptor. It is a chemical copycat in our body, technically, and is also the main manufacturer for polycarbonate plastics, so water bottles, things like that. And it was discovered in 1891 by a Russian chemist named Alexander Dynein. So, endocrine system, just to cover on that for those of you who don't know, it is the bodily system that controls our hormone. So it's all our glands that secrete our hormones and have major effects on our body through our bloodstream. So here's a good visual for that. The endocrine system, including the hypothalamus, the pineal gland, pituitary gland, kidneys, ovaries, any of those right there, and those are all secretors of hormones in our body. So how you can be exposed to BPA is what we want to get into here. Like I said, it's primarily used to make plastics, and it's been in use since 1957, so it's been around quite a while. Almost all of our packaged foods and beverages contain BPA in them. It can be boxed, canned, plastic, anything. So you'll find these a lot in baby bottles, which is a huge thing, sports bottles, even medical and dental devices. You can find them in your water pipes, electronics, DVDs. Almost everything has it in it. So some current issues involving BPA, it all really started in 2008 when the government investigated it and wanted to see how safe or unsafe it really was. And so the FDA found that it's contaminated in baby bottles. So the FDA actually ended the making of baby bottles with BPA in it. And then European Union and Canada have also banned it as well. Then in 2010, the FDA wanted to identify the possible hazards, and they found it was a hazard in fetus, infants, and young children, which is what I'm going to be touching on. Then in 2013, they wanted to discover whether it was unsafe or safe at low levels. And in July 2014, this year, the FDA reported that it is safe at low levels. The actual amount that is in our food and cans is safe. It depends on how much you take in. So if you do take in enough BPA, some symptoms that will arise. Early symptoms include deficiency in your immune system. You can become very sick as well. Hyperactivity and increased aggression rise, and these are all from our hormones being disrupted. Like I said, it's an endocrine disruptor. And it can also lower sperm count in men. Belated symptoms later on, unfortunately, it can have the effect of breast cancer, prostate cancer, and even diabetes and obesity. Some horrible things that can occur from it. And then worst of all, which one I want to talk about, is birth defects. It can highly affect the infant. So some fertility effects from BPA exposure. It can reduce your sperm count, sperm production as a male. It can increase your chance for testicular cancer, as well as impair your male sexual function. So none of those are very good for reproduction. And then pregnancy effects. It actually induces your metabolic alterations during pregnancy, and it can lead to excessive weight gain on top of already gaining weight. And then hormonal interference raises as well, and this can cause type 2 diabetes, which I'm sure more people will touch on that in their projects. So more what I want to get into, effects on the baby. It can lead to defective development of the uterus and impair their fertility, congenital masculinization or development of ambiguous genitalia, so odd body parts, things like that. It can affect their ability to produce healthy eggs as well. It can reduce their reproductive lifespan and affect their DNA replication, which is huge for anything that we do in our lives and in our bodies. And also, what I want to get into is the ways to prevent it. So it has many effects, but how can we prevent it? So things include not reusing plastic bottles, recycle them, don't reuse them. That's how the BPA chemicals get into our body. You can see this on plastic containers by looking for a 7 recycle code, and I have a picture of that later on. And it's just a warning code that you can look for. You want to choose fresh food instead of packaged food. It's just better for you instead of having the chemicals from the plastic containers seep into your food. And last is filter your water so you can minimize your BPA being leaked from your pipes. It can actually exist in pipe insulation. So the 7 code is what I'm talking about. That's something you can look for on your canned food. Filter your water. Try to get fresh foods. Farmer's market is great. And just don't reuse your bottles. You can avoid it that way. And that is my presentation. Thank you very much.